Oh, yes, indeed. He's back. David Heurtel is on the line, not prepared to throw his hat into the ring. He's happy as a political commentator, people, no matter how much you want him to run in any way, shape, or form. David, good morning to you.
Good to be with you, Elias.
All right. What do you want to? Yeah, you want to say anything about the slap heard around the world? I'll give you some time. I've let everyone else talk about it.
Oh man, have we said enough? I think we've said enough.
We've said
really.
Enough. Okay,
I'm sorry. That's my comment. There are much more important things going on right now.
The one statement here 9 hours ago: the Academy does not condone violence of any form. Okay, and that the winners deserve some recognition here, and we're not talking about the winners. That's sad. Too bad. What are you going to do about it? Let's talk the politics here. David, speaking of running in elections, you know what? Maybe the people have a point here, because as I look at Marie-Victorin, the deadline was on Saturday to run in this by-election, and everybody ran. There's 12 candidates, for crying out loud, David. Mm-hmm. So, you know, what would have been the difference to have a 13? The David Heurtel party, the 13. But let's handicap this here. Pierre Nantel for the PQ, Shirley Dorismont for Coalition Avenir Quebec. Those seem to be the two front-runners in this race. Let's not forget Quebec Solidaire with Shafika Vaithyanatharna. I hope I'm saying that right. And Anne Cassaborn with the Conservative Party here. The list goes on and on. I can get to Alex Terrell and Martine Ouellette too, but I want to get your take here. How important is this upcoming by-election?
Well, it's fundamental for the PQ. This is about literally PQ survival going into the fall election. If the PQ loses this could be the beginning of truly the end of the Parti Québécois as a viable political force. So they're putting all their eggs in this basket. They're putting everything but the kitchen sink into this campaign. Now, the other thing I'm looking for, there's several things. One, how much of an impact will the Conservative Party of Quebec have on both the PQ and the CAQ? Remember, in 2018, Catherine Fournier, now the mayor of Longueuil, won this for the PQ by only 705 votes over the CAQ. So Anne Casabonne, who is a well-known actress in French Quebec television and has had some controversial opinions on vaccinations, is still a well-known name. And it's going to be interesting to see the impact of the Conservatives on both the PQ vote and also the CAQ vote. Three, what's very interesting, Elias, is tonight there's supposed to be a candidates debate. And everybody's going to be there from the main parties except Shirley Dorismont of the CAQ. She has decided not to participate. So that sends a lot of bizarre messages and sends maybe one more important message that maybe the CAQ is not confident in her being able to defend, for example, some contradictions, because Shirley Dorismont, before she was a candidate, attacked the CAQ, for example, on systemic racism, on not doing enough to protect healthcare workers during COVID. So that's going to be interesting how that impacts. Finally, my last point on this, Elias, is going to be how the Liberals do. Dominique Anglade, as you know, has been struggling in the polls. Liberals have been struggling. Now, nobody expects or expected Liberals to win Marie-Victorin, but usually, in the last election, also, the Liberals were strong enough to get to 15% of the vote, which gets you at least your refund back, your deposit for the election back. So it'll be interesting to see how the Liberals fare, and this is going to be also a test of Dominique Anglade's new type of leadership that really mobilizes some Liberals even on the South Shore.
Can I tell you how they're going to do, David? Because Montreal Gazette published a list of everyone who's running in the by-election, and they include like what the person's profession is or what they do in life, right? So, you know, you've got your Pierre Nantel. He's been a politician forever, NDP, Green Party candidate, and that kind of stuff.
All the parties. He ran for everybody.
Exactly. You know, Shirley Dorismont, former vice president of the FIQ Nurses Union. And then you've got, all the candidates. I love it. Anne Cassaborn, actress and anti-vaccine activist. And here is the Coles notes on Émilie Nollet running for the Liberal Party. The Liberal Party that used to be centrist right business party. And their candidate is a social inclusion researcher. So this is
Yeah, it's the whole progressive shift. But when you say the liberal center right, I mean the pocketbook was right, but the heart was left. That was the Liberal Party. It was a center left, center right party, and now it's the progressive. But she's not from the South Shore. She's not known locally. But that's where Dominique Anglade wants to take the party, and she's going to stick to that until October, and we'll see how electors react. But right now, it's not looking good at all.
Jean Charest and his candidacy, I mean, listen, he should be running for prime minister too. Instead, he's running for the leadership of the Conservative Party, unlike Pierre Poilievre. But the big tour came into Quebec over the weekend, Laval and Quebec City and Sherbrooke. How is the race shaping up for you, David, right now? How's Jean Charest doing?
Well, Jean Charest, what he did over the past few days, his Quebec tour has been a success, but you have to say it's an as expected, in the sense that you expect Jean Charest to do very well in Quebec. And the crowds were there, the enthusiasm was there in Quebec City, in Sherbrooke, in Montreal region. So he did an as expected. If he hadn't had this type of response, then people would say, well, he can't even win in Quebec. How can he expect to win elsewhere? Now, there's an analyst poll that came out saying that he has the best chance amongst the candidates to actually win the general. And that's his main argument, right? So at the very least, what Jean Charest is doing is showing so far that he's making his case. But the real key in this, Elias, is going to be, will he be able to sign up new members? Those red Tories that have left the Conservative Party over the years, will those members come back, especially in Ontario? That's going to be the key. But right now, as far as what we've seen so far, he is doing well. But still, these are all moves that are kind of an as expected so far.
Looking at Jean Charest's Twitter, I find this very interesting. He's trucking along at 16.8 thousand followers. Yesterday he began, this was the tweet, starting today, our weekly Coffee with Jean series will cover topics and issues that Conservative Party members across Canada share with Jean when he meets with them. And what I love, there's a video included. And this time around, guess what the color of the mug is, the coffee mug. Guess what color it was this time, David?
I think this time it's in shades of blue.
Yeah. So there was no red coffee mug to be found here. Luckily for Jean Charest, he didn't want to repeat that presence. And let me throw this out, too. Speaking of being a politician, what did he do last night? The rah-rah Team Canada men's soccer tweets. You got to pander. You got to start pandering on social media. He's doing it.
Sure, but he's going to have to work very hard in Ontario, Western Canada, BC. The Nanos poll also showed some weakness in BC. So the fact is, you have to remember, we know Jean Charest very well in Quebec, but in the rest of the country, he's not that well known. I mean, that's something we need to grapple with when we analyze this race, is the fact that Jean Charest has to reintroduce himself to the Canadian electorate, especially Ontario.
David Heurtel, Big Five panelist. Everyone wants to hear more of David Heurtel. So Friday, during the Big Five, you'll get to hear David Heurtel once again. David, thanks so much. You have a great start to your week.
Have a great week yourself, Elias. Thank you.